The button has been pressed. Hello happy people, I'm Kat and welcome to Copycat Vlog. This video I'm going to make about Mauritius. 10 reasons why you should visit Mauritius. I already made one video about Casella Park. You can watch it in the link here. But this video in general encompasses all the reasons why I fell in love with this beautiful island. So let's go. Since I just mentioned the Casella Park, reason number one is animals. Mauritius is such a beautiful island, and mainly for me, I'm an animal lover. It's because of its wildlife. Aside from animals that you can see in Casella Park, such as zebras, giraffes, we didn't go to see the wildcats, but I know that they also exist there. Just the sound of the island, it felt so special. There are so many beautiful birds. There are a lot of stray dogs, and I know it's not like a very positive thing, but just a side note, they're all very peaceful, they're all very sweet. They're roaming around the island. I know it's a bit of a problem, and next to where we live, next to our Airbnb, there was a group of these very cute pups with their mom and dad, and there was like the whole dog family. We fell in love with them immediately, and I couldn't help but go to the supermarket, get some food for them and feed them. And I understand that it's not solving the problem, but you just can't help. I think it's if that's the small thing I can do just to make sure, you know, they had their breakfast, lunch and dinner, I would definitely do that. So the wild dogs aren't dangerous. Of course, be careful, be mindful. There are chances to get rabies and all kinds of diseases, so you know, just look at the animal before you try to pet it, but in general they're all very sweet, and that's what made my stay at Mauritius so special.
Oh my god, ostrich! Ostrich with the zebra. Wow. You stop eating my dress! It's stop! Hey.
Reason number two, not to go too far, but just as you arrive to the airport, it's really beautiful, amazing. There is this whole wall with the water sliding down, and it already has a little bit representation of the nature. I remember even after a very long flight, seeing the airport gave me a sense of calmness and peacefulness. So you will enjoy it immediately too, I hope. Reason number three, and here I would quote our wonderful guide Kevin. He asked us, what makes Mauritius Island so special if you compare it to different countries? And the answer is there are different religions that coexist on the island peacefully, and that's very important. That's a big reason for me to go. I'm a peaceful person, and I have immense respect for every person who is different from me, whether it's a different religion, different views on something. It's a wonderful thing about the island, knowing how multicultural it is and how many different people can practice different religions. And I even read that the constitution of the island prohibits any sort of discrimination on the island. So here you go. It's even supported by the government, which is amazing. The government actually recognizes 7 groups as religions: Hindus, Roman Catholics, Muslims, Anglicans, Presbyterians, Seventh-day Adventists, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Wow, that was a long list. Reason number 4, amazing hikes that you can find in Mauritius. Honestly, there were so many options. Ended up doing just one hike, climbing a mountain which is called La Pousse. It is one of rather popular hikes. It can be viewed from Port Louis, capital of the city. It's the 3rd biggest mountain in Mauritius. The biggest mountain in Mauritius, called Péton de la Petite Rivière Noire, sorry for my French pronunciation, and Peterboth. Those are just the only 2 that are taller. It's named La Pousse because of the thumb-shaped peak of the mountain. It was such an amazing hike. People in Mauritius recommended us to always hire a guide, and I'm glad that we did because Kevin was amazing. After this, I will show you our little interaction with him as we climbed on top of La Pousse. I would leave his contact underneath this video, so any of you can contact him. If you are in Mauritius, I definitely recommend him. Amazing English, really nice guy, very professional. A lot of people told us we have to hire a guide because you can get lost and it can be dangerous. I don't think for this particular hike it was dangerous or we would have gotten lost, but just as Kevin told us, walking with the guide makes a huge difference just because the island becomes alive. You hear the stories, you learn a lot more about the island, and therefore it's really worth it.
You can hear helicopter there. Bonjour, we made it. We made it at Le Pouce. It's the third biggest mountain here on the island in Mauritius. And here I am with our lovely guide, Kevin, who can correct me if I'm saying anything wrong. And
it's all good.
it was really fun climbing up here, like very rocky kind of way.
Each hike we have in Mauritius is totally different from the others, you know?
Yeah,
so I can't really say
special.
hike X is better than hike Y because each hike is unique. Each hike is special, yeah.
I can say this hike was definitely worth it because we saw monkeys. We saw like a mom monkey and babies monkeys, and I will show the shots of them in this vlog. And yeah, it's just super nice to enjoy. It's like if you just turn around, it's truly beautiful everywhere around. And what is over there? There is like a port or
Yeah, this is like the
harbor.
And obviously, like down there, this is the capital city of Mauritius. We call it Port Louis.
Port Louis, that's where we visited yesterday.
Fifth reason is the capital of the island itself, the one that I just mentioned called Port Louis. Being on the island and not seeing its main city would be a miss. It has quite a few things to see. For example, I really enjoyed going to the market. We bought a few fruits and vegetables there. It was mango season when we visited, so mangoes were really, really nice. And in general, food in Mauritius is really a great bonus of the island because you can also get great food on the beaches, but also in the market, so don't miss that. There is also post office museum, which we didn't visit, but it sounded quite interesting. But just generally strolling through the city, it was a rainy day, seeing this famous umbrella street in Port Louis and just walking around, checking it out was really cool. I'm a big fan of the afternoon tea. I know it's a British thing, but somehow we found one afternoon tea in Mauritius in Port Louis. I can say it was the best afternoon tea in my life. The reason is I just don't think it's a thing in Mauritius, but I quite enjoyed the experience that we had. If you're an afternoon tea lover just like me, check it out. Maybe you will like it too. Reason number 6 is, of course, amazing beaches of Mauritius. I can't tell you how many we went to, but we went to a lot of them. And just the vibe and the whole spirit of the island, you can really feel it on every beach. Originally, I wanted to go to some resort and just spend the day in the super comfortable, convenient place because we were doing Airbnb and me and my partner, we said, okay, maybe we're just gonna do resort, treat ourselves. But what I realized, it was not needed because the beach atmosphere feels really great. And for example, we did go to beach resort in Sri Lanka because there was a big difference with the public beach, but Mauritius public beaches are as great as resorts. I know a lot of people do stay at resorts, but don't be afraid to explore the island. It doesn't bite you, just the opposite. You can try amazing food. My favorite thing was also drinking coconut water on the beach, and I like here in Europe it's not a thing. You can of course buy it at the supermarket, but just there on the island, seeing the process, how they break coconut right in front of you, that was quite cool. One very special beach that I can recommend is situated in the village called Cap Malheureux. This place is very picturesque. It's situated in the north of the island. We were staying at the beach called Perret Beach, which is also in the north. I found that area very special. The water is just amazingly blue. But Cap Malheureux also is known for its very cute red church, very pretty building. Reason number 7 for me is a place called 7 Colored Earths. Of course, I saw the place everywhere in all kinds of guides, and for me it was very special to go and visit it in person. The Seven Colored Earth are a geological formation. It's a relatively small area of sand dunes comprising sand of 7 distinct colors: red, brown, violet, green, blue, purple, and yellow. What was really special about this place is that these different colored sands, they just spontaneously settle in different layers. And it's just sand dunes when you think about it. But our guide told us that even if you mix them up, trying to mix up the colors, eventually they still come in these layers of the colors that I just listed, which is so cool. And I mean, it's just nature doing its thing. I find it super special. It almost looks like the sands are photoshopped, but in reality, it's Mother Nature. The reason number 8 is located right next to Seven Colored Earths, and of course it's Chamorel Waterfalls. But I have to highlight that again, Mauritius has a lot of waterfalls. I love anything connected to water, and for me it was very special to see Chamorel Waterfall. Is the highest waterfall on the island. It's about 100 meters high, so seeing it is very impressive, and I love the view. I know that there are a lot of other options such as 7 waterfalls. Unfortunately this time didn't get to go, didn't check it out, but it's a good reason to come back. I did mention the animals, but how can I not mention swimming with the dolphins? This is for me reason number 9, because it was such a special experience. I do have to mention ethical concerns. I've never done it in my life, and I really wanted it to be special. And in Mauritius, I felt like, okay, it's time to give it a go. We really searched a lot for the good ethical company where the boat is not going to basically go on the dolphins or will not disturb them. But as I'm saying it, I'm suspicious that anyways the animals are being disturbed. I'm conflicted here because I do think it's an experience that's worth doing. However, I do believe it's important to find a company which doesn't harass the animals, because when we were there I did feel slightly uncomfortable. There were so many boats, and imagine going through that every day, which dolphins obviously are going through when all these people and all these tourists are coming. I'm gonna show you a little snippet of my reaction here, and yeah, it's up to you to decide, but for me it was definitely one of the biggest highlights of being on the island.
They're so beautiful.
Another try? Try again? Yeah? Try again? No. Try again?
So cool.
Yes?
Like you could see them, so many of them, like on
Try again? Yes. Please.
And the final thing, reason number 10. I'm the person who likes to try different things. So on Mauritius, you can try certain things which you never tried in your life. Such as I tried sugarcane juice. It was at Seven Colored Earth place. I saw that the woman was doing something interesting and I was like, what is that? And it appeared to be juice from sugarcane, as you expect it to be. It was very sweet. I'll show you some of the shots that I made.
We made it to Seven Colored Earth Park, and behind me you can see different 7 colors of, it comes from volcano, so volcanic eruption. It's really impressive to look at. Sugarcane juice, I've never tried it in my life. Sugarcane is a plant which you can find a lot in Mauritius, and it was brought here by Dutch. But without further ado, chin chin, as people say in Spain, na zdrowie. And I'm just gonna try and tell you my impressions, because it's my very first time trying it. It's kind of like a little bit like apple juice, but very, very sweet. That's my first impression. My face probably says it's not my cup of tea. It's not as bad as I made my face, but it's okay. I'm not sure if I can drink the whole thing because it's very, very sweet.
I tried palm tree and I saw it on the menu in one of the restaurants and I was like, what? I never tried a palm tree. And with cheese, like I couldn't have even said that it's a palm tree. I wouldn't have guessed. If you are adventurous, you like to try new things, Mauritius is a great place to do it. It also has a lot of different sports that you can try. I mean, you can do surfing. My biggest dream was to try water skis, which I did. It was not very successful, spoiler alert. I fell down many times, but I loved it nevertheless. I can keep listing these reasons. Reason 11 is that my skin became much better thanks to Mauritius' lovely sun. Reason 12 is sitting next to me. I was actually in the botanical garden. This branch has fallen off, and this is part of Mauritius with me right now as I'm speaking to you. But my advice is that you go and explore the island by yourself. Check out different groups on Facebook. For example, I really liked a group called Mauritius We Love It. One of the group members gave me excellent advice, which I really used throughout the trip. But there are many different groups. I'm sure there are communities on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter, name the social platform. Visit Mauritius, it's super special. And thank you very much for watching this video. Yoko Piquet.